So the first two stages in the World Beyond are not too hard, so I'll take this time to talk about the enemy that is featured in all three of these stages, which is Kano and Salma. I think that's what the enemy's called. It's basically these two dudes on a motorbike, and they have really low 210 range, but the biggest thing about them is that they can create a level 2 wave attack, and they also have 18 movement speed and 2 knockback counts, so they're pretty bulky, they're pretty fast, and they have low knockback counts and make a level 2 wave attack. So it's kind of similar to the Cory enemy, you know, Cory, that koala that makes waves, except faster, with slightly higher range, and more endurance. So kind of like a Cory, Berserk Cory Lovechild with faster speed, and a very low wave range. But this wave range is a threat in the final stage. So again, the second stage is also not hard. The only thing here in the second stage is there's a lot of peon spam, like, there's just a constant ocean of little peons. They supply money, but they also get in the way. So wave attackers and LD are recommended. But anyway, back to what I was saying. In the third stage, Kano and Salma are extremely boosted. I believe they're boosted to 1500% of their regular stats. So if we do the math, they have the base 800 attack and 80k health. So that would leave them with 1200 damage and 1.2 million health in the final stage. So, and that stage is pretty difficult, and if you haven't noticed already, each of these stages has different restrictions. The first one has first row only. The second stage, this one, has a deploy limit of 15 cats. And the third stage, which is the hardest, because I just mentioned the very boosted Salma, you can only deploy normals, rares, and super rares. So unfortunately, in the last stage, you cannot uber carry to get the best time score reward. I will give a disclaimer, I did not get the best one. With a lot of these Annihilation City collabs, getting the max rewards in 3-star is almost impossible, even with uber carry. So when there's a restriction that makes it not able to, I was not able to get all the rewards, sadly. If you did, please leave in the description how. Though I did leave the strat for the last stage very accessible. I didn't really use any advent units other than Maglev. So yeah, these stages, the first two are not a trouble, as I've said a million times, but the third one has a lot of boosted enemies. And we'll be getting to that stage in a second. And I'll give a little more commentary when we get there. So in Wishing for Happiness, the biggest thing about this stage is, again, incredibly boosted everything. You see these ginger snakes? They are insanely powerful. You'll see in a second, I will deploy Can to attack them, and they don't get insta-killed by that. Also, they don't get knocked back by a level 40 Maglev hitting them, so that just goes to show how powerful they are. All of the other enemies in the stage are powerful too, though most of these enemies spawn on base hit. And when you do hit the enemy base, a Dark Emperor Nyandam will spawn, along with some angelic hippos and gories, and these enemies have a lot of health. They're just very bulky. For the black gory though, I did bring Pizza because he just deals a lot of damage to gory and can kill him. And because Salma's range is so low, Pizza can outrange Salma, so he's also an attack useful for that. I highly recommend Octo in this stage because of the powerful 12k damage waves that Salma and Cat will produce. The thing that sucks about Salma and Cat being a wave attacker is because this stage has certain restrictions, there aren't really many wave immune attackers you can bring that are normals, rares, or super rares, which is why Octo is such an important guy. Another great unit in this stage that I did not bring is Cyberpunk. I can definitely see him being used here because he just has incredible range. He can help with Dark Emperor Nyandam as well as Salma because the waves, level 2 enemy waves, hit up to around either between 500 or 600 range, which is actually way more than you would think. So Cyberpunk can outrange these wave attacks, which is quite useful, and just deal consistent damage, which I like. I did bring Manic Flying also. I don't recommend him. I'd rather bring Paris or something. The idea with Manic Flying was just strong DPS and still outranges Salma and Cat. But the problem with Manic Flying is, I don't know, there's just something about him that doesn't work. I think it's the enemies that have strong enough pushing power that Manic Flying kind of has just a little risky to use too close range. So yeah, Paris/Cyborg is a little better in my opinion, but it's really up for debate. The stage will take you a bit, but it's not that necessarily difficult. It's just difficult to get the good time score reward, which is something I didn't get. And if you got it, please leave in the comments your loadout. And that's it for this stage. See ya.